Ladies and gentlemen, we are sponsored here on the channel today. We finally hit the big leagues. We're starting to work our way up in the YouTube world. And we are sponsored by Super Clean. Probably after saw my Jeep video, me just burying the thing down in the mud, and they thought, you know what, this dude really needs something to clean that stuff up. So we got a little bit of everything here. This is floor absorbent. Lord knows we need that because we leak gear oil all over the shop. We have foaming grease, wheel cleaner, normal sprayable grease, and an aerosol can of grease. Now I do have to give a shout out to everyone over at Super Clean because I've been working with Jessica a little bit. She emailed me. She saw, it was right when I was uploading a bunch of Jeep videos, getting them just dirty, nasty, and she actually hand wrote me a card, which is pretty cool, and gave me all kinds of business cards. They even sell the stuff at AutoZone, so we normally don't do sponsored videos on the channel at all, but if you guys go ahead and if this stuff works in the video, go ahead and buy some because, I mean, they're supporting me, and there's not a lot of people supporting old Jeep channels on YouTube, so it's pretty cool of them. I mean, look at all this stuff. I mean, where else are we going to get that? Come on now. It's actually, I've been so pumped to make this video. I've been wearing around this hat like everywhere I go, and I've been getting my picture taken, so it's funny. And what better opportunity to use these bad boys than on the most ultra rare factory Willys Jeep transmission. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take a closer look at that. I am gonna go ahead and change my shirt and my hat because I like these so much that I don't want to get them dirty when we go ahead and try all this stuff out. What we have here is the answer to the Submarine's problems. We have an entire swap ready to rock using all factory Willys components. Lucky I found this T98 transmission. So what this is, you can see it's a lot taller than the factory 3-speeds. This is a 4-speed with a granny low first gear, kind of like an SM465 out of a Chevy. Basically same setup. So that is very similar to the transmission that's actually in the mutt, but this is the key to everything, is having a real transfer case. So it's a Dana 18, all stock Jeep style transfer case. This was like a special order item that dealers could do through the factory back in like the 50s, 60s. So the sweet thing is, because it's factory, it's got all the necessary adapters. There's one here to the belt housing. There's one here to the transfer case. We also have a drive shaft, the cross member, the skid plate, the front drive shaft, and this actually will bolt up to an L head or an F head. This is the engine that came with the setup. I'm actually not going to use this one because it does smoke just a hair. So I've actually got another F head right here. Now this is out an M38A1. It's got a pretty sweet little rebuild tag right here that tells you all the specs of it. This thing, both engines have great compression. I think this thing had 125 on all four. Ran great, no smoke. I mean, that thing's gonna be ready to rock. So now the next problem I had is the axles in the Jeep. So my rear was blown and the front axle was a limited slip, and the problem is it just didn't work when I wanted it to. Essentially by the end of the swap, we're gonna have locked front and rear axles. We have a 75 horsepower F head and the factory style transmission, granny low gear. Submarine was originally like a 30-to-1 crawl ratio, which is horrendous. And now with all of this setup, we're looking at about 88-to-1 crawl ratio, I believe is what I calculated at 31-inch tires. So basically turn that thing into a rock crawler. And we have the option, if we ever want to someday, we can put the Terralow gears in the transfer case. They reduce it from a 2.46 to a 3.15 gear ratio, and then the crawl ratio jumps, to like 111-to-1. We're definitely going to be taking all this setup to the Rubicon Trail in 2021 and the Colorado Flat Fender Fall Colors Tour later this September. So it could not have been any better timing that Super Clean sent me all this stuff, because all this stuff is disgusting. I've actually had it where you have to chisel off the muck with a hammer or even sandblast it off. I had a transmission that had to be sandblasted to get all the grease off. So we have the perfect opportunity. We're going to try each of these products on different components because we obviously got plenty to go around here. And we're going to see how it does. Now I did read the instructions. This said use cold water, which I thought was kind of unusual. Now we do have a heated water system, so I might try both and see what it does. I feel like this transmission is the nastiest of them all, so I'm going to use the foaming for that. The normal degreaser for the engines, because they're not terrible. And then the aerosol style we're going to use on the axles. The grease is already falling off of this thing, and it must be working. I gotta say, stuff worked just like a charm. You can see right here that skid plate, all the nastiness got off of there. Same thing with the axles. Now some of the black spots are actually paint that's left over. And whoever painted this stuff did it so sloppily, it's just ran all over the place. So what I found is there's that foaming stuff, squirt bottle, spray bottle, as well as just a normal spray that's non-foaming. The foaming is way more fun. I mean, if I had to pick one for the fun factor, it's foaming. As for which one is better, I'm slightly leaning towards the non-foaming stuff just because it seemed to get a little bit more of the gunk off. If the grease isn't packed on there, you know, half an inch thick, it comes right off with one swoop. And there's actually a lot of original olive drab left on this engine, which is pretty cool. Now, things that were way packed with grease, I had to go over it, you know, 4, 5, 6 times with the power washer. Like, this transmission was so thick that it was just chunking off in giant pieces, which I still need to do that side of it. But on this side, it's pretty easy to see that the stuff worked like a champ. Same thing on the transfer case. I gotta say, the old Super Clean products, I mean, they didn't do us dirty, they did us clean. The last part of our test is to check out the floor absorbent. This is sweet because it's already got little lines in here to keep you from over pouring the thing. Little did Super Clean know, everything I own leaks tons of oil. That one leaks oil. That one leaks oil. That one has not leaked oil because I don't think there's any oil in it. Last ran in 82. So I'm gonna go ahead, sprinkler down. So that's actually really fine. I've never seen, because normally if you use kitty litter, you know, it's super thick. We'll get the job done. What you gotta do after this is just come through, spray some brake clean on here, wipe it with a blue towel. That'll get rid of most of the staining, and then over time it'll kind of go away. Here's a little bit of comparison between the traditional T90 transmission that would be found in a factory Willys Jeep and then the optional T98. Right there, it's super easy to tell how much bigger the thing is. One thing you'll notice, now this one doesn't have a bell housing on it. There's a large adapter on the bell housing there, and a large adapter going to the transfer case here, whereas the T90 doesn't need any of that. Transfer case is bolted right onto the tranny. Next thing you'll notice how much longer the case itself is. All that extra room over there is just for the first gear, and then the transmission is also taller this way because of that first gear. So it's a totally different setup essentially, but using factory components. We've got all the pieces we need to throw it in the Jeep pretty easy. Now I was pretty torn between picking the F-head and the LS series engine, and I actually printed out the diagrams of an LS with all the dimensions, and I figured out, okay, the LS, I was gonna have to cut my firewall back 4 inches on the inside, then the transmission would come out, then the adapter, the transfer case, then the transfer case. I figured everything was gonna end up with measurements right about here on the body, which is about 8 inches away from the axle. So the drive shaft from yoke to yoke would have to be 8 inches, which is pretty much impossible for an off-road vehicle. I mean, that's no room for the U-joints, the slip shaft, nothing. So that's why we ultimately are going with the F-head setup. Easy swap, it's cheaper, and we can get it done this summer.